Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kanani, here. I've been a little absent, but I'm back. I wanted everything to be super perfect, and that's just not real. So I am gonna do a makeup look today. I kind of want to do something kind of bridal, not the bride per se, but like more of like the bridesmaid. So I get to let you guys see my real face. And if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe. I'm wearing a tube top, so I'm wearing a shirt. Just want to let you guys know that. So I'm going to start off using a little e.l.f. face primer. And this kind of what I learned in the Glam Lab class is like to use a little face primer. A little bit goes a long way. And I just want to rub it in. And like one of my favorite things I actually learned from the class is like how to actually use your primer to kind of like make your products go a little bit longer and gives it like a little softer texture. So I think today I'm gonna be just do a little differently. Normally I do the skin first and I really focus on the skin. But I think today, since I want to focus on the eyes, I'm gonna just start with the brows and the eyes first, and then I'll do the face after. So I like to start off with like an angled brush. Don't laugh at mine, mine's like really beat up. And some people really like a little dip brow. I like to use a little dark brown eyeshadow, and I just have like an old palette, a really old palette. I'm not even gonna show you because that's how old the palette is. It's like literally the most basic, just a little dark brown. I've obviously used it quite a bit. And I just like to start off and like carve my eyebrows. I waxed too much right in there, so that's growing out. And I just like to follow the natural shape. It does not have to be perfect because I'm going to go back through it and like clean it up. So you can kind of see the little shape coming through. And I just kind of like blend it in, like kind of brush it in there. I just feel like one eyebrow is always perfect and like the perfect shape, and the other one's just like Willy Wonky. I don't know. I think this one's my favorite eyebrow because I just feel like it has like a really good arch. Don't worry about the little tail there. Like, I'm gonna clean that up. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna clean it up. I'm literally only using the camera as my mirror, so I'm getting all in. I just like to extend the little tail. The trick is you always want to do, well, like right in the like kind of like right here with the eyebrow to start. I was about to be like at the end, but if that was the case, then my eyebrows would be so gappy. And then I think here at the edge is your little arch, and then at the very end it should be where it ends. So it's just like a little bit longer. It's kind of funky to tell, but that's kind of like my go-to. See, I love how this one goes up, but this one doesn't go up. It's just sad looking sometimes. But don't worry about it. So, then my favorite trick, I learned this a long time ago. I want to say maybe like, I think maybe about, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. I don't know if they still do this now. They probably still do. Like, but back in the day, you could go and take classes at MAC. especially if you're from Washington and you could go to the Takula store or like the Pro store. Basically, that's what it is called, the Pro store. You used to be able to spend $50 and take like a class on like whatever their whole thing was. Kind of like the looks. Like Mac used to have like certain looks that they would do or whatnot. And you used to be able to pay $50 and you could like take this little class, and all of the money that you use for the $50 could go to product or just things there. And I used to love that, and that was like what I learned, is like how to carve out my eyebrows. Before that was like a thing. So this is my Anastasia Beverlyhills palette. It's been used gently, but probably not. It's a contour cream kit. I love it. I have seen them, I don't remember. I think I got this definitely at I think Macy's, because that's where I used to buy my Anastasia Beverlyhills stuff, or my fiance would. But you could actually, I've seen this palette before, I believe at Marshall's. I'm not gonna lie, Marshall's be having some Anastasia Beverlyhills stuff, and I love her products. I don't know, like I'm not super bougie when it comes to like name brands, but I do love her stuff. So I'm using, I don't even remember what kind of brush this was. It was like way back, but it's kind of like a flat tip. I really like that to carve out my eyebrows. And so I just kind of go in and I just clean it up with like a contour, or not contour, but you can use just kind of like your concealer, but I like a cream, because if you do it like too liquidy, but also too, like if depending on how you go in, for some reason when you cut it out, like it just like holds that shape and makes it so much nicer. And I just go in, clean up everything, and it kind of gives you more of like an arch. Okay, so we're done now. This is it. This is my look. I'm just joking. Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you blend this out, because you will look crazy, and that will be your look. I like to get a little bit on my eyelid to kind of prime it too. You gotta just blend it all out. How crazy do I look? And I like to go in the middle of my would-be unibrow too. So I kind of like that. I'm just gonna blend it out. I mean, the camera picks up like everything. So you want to just make sure you blend in everything out. And if I'm like being really extra, then I'll carve on the outside too. I don't do that every time. But I mean, I'm just gonna be extra for the YouTube. So I feel like you guys want to see that. This is real love, because I'm showing you guys my real face. Only my close friends get to see me makeupless. I guess we're close friends now. Okay. And I'm gonna use my little kabuki brush that I got from Glam Lab. It's kind of like a kabuki brush, but I really like it. It's called the, yeah, to be honest, like, they're labeled wrong. There's two of them. There's one that's angled, which is the contour, and then the other one's called the flawless finisher, but they're both labeled wrong, but this one's a flawless finisher. And so I just kind of like to blend it out a little bit. And so one of the game changers is I always use kind of like the blending brush for like the highlight, but after I took my Glam Lab class, they have a little flat brush. It's super cute, and it's just really tiny, but it's flat, but it kind of it has a different texture than like most brushes. For some reason, like the bristles are a little bit sleeker. I don't know what it's actually called, but I'm gonna use the Anastasia Beverlyhills palette. Again, I love her. And I always like to do, I'm gonna do like a flat white. Oops, let me go get that if it's still intact. Anyway, so I like to do a flat white, but I've been kind of switching it up. So I like to do the base of like the white. Oh, and this is the Modern Renaissance palette. But I always just do kind of like a matte white. And I go back in and I go back over like my my little cutting my eyebrows out. But what's a game changer is like with the flat brush, I feel like it just picks up more pigment. You don't have to use more product, and I just felt like it just blends nicer. Okay, and then I like to go back in with a little bit of a sparklier one. Just the very edges, and I want to just go right in here. I mean, see what I mean? It just kind of highlights right underneath the brow just a little bit more. And then I feel like it looks a little bit bolder, but then I feel like that's kind of I feel like it only looks a little bit bolder just because on the camera it's picking up a little bit like that. So I'm just gonna blend it out just a little bit with like a little blendy brush. I'm gonna just blend out the edges. So I kind of want to do kind of like more of like a bridal look, like bridesmaid look. So I am, because I mean it's bridal season, so I'm actually going to go with something a little bit more sparkly. I feel like everything's always like really bright eyes, and then a good eyeliner and lashes, but kind of like clean, and like a cute little nudie kind of lip. Why not? So I think that's what I'm going to do with like a little bit of a shadowed smoky eye. So I'm going to do a little bit lighter. I think I'm actually going to do a little bit of kind of the same that I did on the sparkling I did on the eyelid. I'm going to use a flat brush again. And get in the little tear duct a little bit. You want to have a look that kind of definitely pulls the camera, like you can see photos that you have makeup on, but you don't want to look too loud. It's more of like a softer look, but still really pretty and polished. I'm mainly just focusing on like the mid and like the inner corners because I know I'm gonna just use like a contour for or like a crease shade. Something bright. And I'm actually going to go in just a little bit right there. Sometimes people like to do like a base underneath it, but since I'm going to be casual today and I'm going to go out, I just kind of want to give you the appearance, but I don't need it really long sticking kind of. So I don't need it super, super bold, but I just want to have like a soft version of it. And then I'm going to go in with like this little angled, I like it because it's kind of, you can use the edges to contour a little bit, but it still has like a blending. And I also like this for a nose contour too. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to use that right now. I'm going to use just like a regular blending one. I'm going to use the edge. It's all about like how you use your tools. It's not about exactly which tool. And I'm going to do like a little bit of a burnt orange tone. Because I think I'm going to do like a burgundy on the edges. So I want something to kind of blend in. And I'm just going to tap on the very corner of it. And I'm just going to use the very edge. And wherever you first put your product in, that's where it's always going to be the boldest. So I'm always going to just go right on the edge because that's going to be blended out anyway. And I like to create like a little bit of an almond shape, so I just kind of follow the natural shape of my eyes. I like to hold my eye a little taut sometimes. Does anybody else do that? I just wanted to reapply in there and just kind of soften it up a little bit, bring it in a little bit bolder. And then now I'm going to go in with like my red ochre. I don't know. I think it's called red ochre. And just a little bit, same brush, just on the edges. I am gonna stop there, and then I am gonna get some eyeliner. And always too, you don't need to go just like go full all in with eyeliner. You can take it in little pieces and kind of go in. And so I think that's where kind of people get kind of messed up, is like they try to do the full wing line once, like veil swoop, and you can just take your time. Now I try to get as close as I can to the lash line. So kind of line. I'm doing things a little bit backwards today. I'm kind of not into it. Well, I'm not into it, but I'm just kind of a little bit thrown off. But normally I will do my face. But since I want this to kind of be cleaned up a little bit on the edges, I'm going to do my eyes first. So I personally cannot do an angled eye or like a wing with just the little eyeliner. So I'm going to go back in with like my little angled brush. I'm gonna just use it. Actually, I'm gonna use a mirror. And that's all into like the angle you hold it to. Like if you hold it straight and you try to do that, like it's gonna be funky. But if you hold the brush at an angle, it literally helps. See what I mean? It's just like a little. I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't worn a winged eye in so long, but I feel like they're trendy again, so I'm trying to get back into it. It used to be so good I could cut some wings, but now I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like on that Kylie Jenner like craze, like just a good lash and just like a little smoky eye I'm like good with, but the wing is back, so I gotta get with it. There's just so many types of wings too. I know. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use a little white. I got these coconut cream vanilla. I'm gonna totally put you guys on. I got them at the Dollar Tree, and my mom's like super obsessed of like the Dollar Tree, and I try to front on it, but they be really having some good stuff. So I'm gonna come back through. I kind of sometimes feel like it helps the wing a little bit too. Just clean her up. A little chapstick. You know what it is. Okay. I feel like my skin's not even, so I like to color correct. I definitely get dark around my eyes, my chin, my cheekbones. So I actually got these little LA colors, and they're a really good skin color corrector. But yeah, if you have like dark areas, that's where I like to use them. And I got these at the dollar store. But normally, I've used the Anastasia Beverlyhills one, and I really thought I really liked it. But then I feel like it can kind of look chalky, and this just has enough of a warm tint in there that it kind of really combats everything. Yes, honey, I like to color correct. I was like getting ready one day, and like my fiance was there, and he was like, everything you're putting on your face is pink. And I was just like, yeah, I know. And I mean, I guess in this lighting it kind of looks orange, but I was like, yeah, I know. And I was just like, oh, leave me alone. Let me just do my drag in peace. That's why like so many girls are like, let's get ready together. I'm like, no, you don't want to see this crazy transformation. But I'm doing it here today for the tube. And I just love it because I just feel like it gives you such a cleaner skin. Because I feel like that's the trend now. It's all about the skin. Like, used to be back in the day, it would be all about like blending the eyeshadow. I remember this girl on MySpace, I'm sure she's still very current, but she used to be called like, I think it was like Queen of Blending, and she would do like freaking sunsets on her fucking eyes, and I'm just like, that's talent. But me, I just focus on like having really good skin, and like I like to sculpt my face with makeup. See how it like kind of covers those little dark areas? Like, I like the Anastasia, but I felt like it kind of made me look a little chalky, and I could see it through my makeup. So that's how I color correct a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. Just get in there. I like this brush to kind of apply makeup and kind of blend it out. I used to use a beauty blender, and I really liked those for a really long time, but the thing about beauty blenders is they're a little bit harder to sanitize and clean. I mean, you can put them in the microwave and whatnot, but if you're dealing with the general public, you probably don't want to use that. And so, okay, so now I did color correcting, and I like to do a little primer again. This is the trick I really liked, is using a little primer and then using your makeup, and I'm using Stay Matte Rimmel. It actually has a lot of coverage. I really like it. I'm not sure if I would get matte again. I probably would get a little dewy, but I like to mix a little on my hand and just put a little bit on there. And you mix those two together, and it just makes your foundation last so much longer, but also like just kind of makes it glide on a little bit easier. I just mix it up, mix it up, mix it, and then cover on top. You see what I mean? And don't be scared to like go a couple of shades lighter. That's something that I learned in my class. Go a little shades lighter, because you're gonna contour. You're gonna use a little contour and cover it and kind of blend it all in. Like nobody, I mean, some people do find like the perfect shade that's like perfect, but I've yet to find it. So that's why you gotta kind of like mix and match and really make your makeup. And I like a little brighter eye, me personally. That's just me. That's what I focus on. I have a really dark forehead, so this looks crazy at first. Like, I'm just letting you guys know all my secrets, because we're friends like that, and real friends share secrets, right? You bond over things, so. Okay, so, and then I like to just use the flawless and kind of just blend it out. Just kind of makes it look airbrushed. So I learned this a while back from watching Nikita Dragon, and I've been doing it forever, especially since I like buy some shades. Like me, my skin tone is just like, I've never found anything that's like super perfect anyway that matches me. Some people do. I mean, I haven't got my hands on the little Fenty makeup yet, but I'm totally open to it. But I got this Maybelline Fit Me, and it's like quite a bit darker. And so one of my tricks I like to do is use a little bit, and I like to, instead of like mixing per se my foundations, I like to mix a darker foundation, and I kind of like do a little contour with it, with the foundations, kind of pre-contour. And again, so this little brush, because it's angled, I really feel like it really works really well. But again, like I said, my forehead is a lot darker. I don't know, because maybe the angle of it just gets more sun than everything else. I don't know. But it's always been darker, so it is how it is. But also too, I always do is to give myself a little bit more of a pout. I go underneath here, make it a little darker so my lips look bigger. And then I go, you want to shape your chin. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's how you want to look. So I don't even know if that made sense, but basically I just like to contour. Like that's what my favorite actually is, doing face. Because I really like to create looks with just your skin. And I go back in. Contour the nose a little bit. Already you see like a huge difference with just that. And don't get lazy when you do your chin or your face. Go down, because if you don't, you look crazy. And people don't spend time blending it down, and then you just look insane. As my best friend calls it. She calls it insane. She always uses that word. And so it kind of like blends out so much better. And then there's more steps to this face. So, and then one of my favorite other things with color correcting is always, everyone, when you see like pro makeup, always has a little yellow undertones underneath, because you want it to just like pop. And so I like to use a little yellow, and it just makes all the difference. If you're really fair skinned, then sometimes you can't use yellow because it'll shine through. But most people, you can use the yellow, and that's kind of like the secrets to a lot of makeup artists. Underneath the eye, you want to use a little yellow. Or if you want it bright. So you see how like my little darker foundation kind of blended it in? With not, it just, I look a little crazy, but it is what it is. So you're like, look at those cheekbones, you want them to pop. So I just blend it in. So then your chin kind of pops out a little bit more. This is kind of how I contour my face. Your face might be a little bit different depending on your face shape and what you want to protrude. And I'm actually going to make sure that this kind of wings out, because I want it to like look really exotic and wing. Don't worry, I'm going to go back in and contour with actual powder. Now, everybody doesn't have to do this, but this is how I like to do my face. And I think this is kind of what gives it that like edge. These little, it's the devils and the details. It's all about the little details that give you that like magazine or ready finish. You just like blend it out. Kind of cleans up the contour a little bit too. Go back in again with my brush, the Flawless, and you can use like a kabuki and just kind of blend it. Because that's like the trick of really good makeup, is everything should look really nice and seamless. And that's just the yellow. Now I'm going to do the concealer. It's a lot of makeup, huh? Go to. And so this is a little concealer. I guess this is Wet n Wild. Like, I guess a lot of the things I use, I love high-end stuff, but I also will use lower-end things too as well. So I don't know if you're like this or not, but it never used to make sense to me, but whenever my mom would get ready, like she'd have like her regular everyday makeup, and then she'd have like her nice makeup. And I swear she never used her nice makeup. Like she has like her everyday stuff and then her nice stuff when she's really going out. And I feel like that's kind of made an impression on me. So I feel like I always buy like, it's not like exactly like how expensive it is. It'll just be kind of like your go-to, like the heavy duty stuff is like when you're like going out. And then every day at the salon for me, I'm not going to do something super heavy. I just want to make sure that I look polished and like professional. So like I think that's how I have this concealer. I did for a long time use the Anastasia Beverlyhills one in that palette, but it's just not as, like, it doesn't have as much coverage. It's not thick enough. Like, I can still see my bags and my baggage underneath with that one. And so I felt like, I love you, Anastasia, but it doesn't cover as much. And I don't know, maybe if I need to use more of like a cream, like in a tube base, kind of like Tarte. I haven't used Tarte myself personally, but there's a lot of things I need to try, obviously. But, alright. My phone tried to play me, so I just start back over. But anyway, I just applied my concealer. And I'm going to use, boom, my brush again. Blend it out. This is a lot of processes, but it's just because it's my personal preference, and this is just kind of how I get that like really nice finish. And I like to use the concealer to kind of outline my contour for my nose as well. Blend it. And I like to put a little bit of powder on. I think this is like a little Sonia Kashuk brush. Normally I like to use my my little beauty blender, but again I've been trying to focus on using brushes more. And this powder actually is called Revolution. I got it at Ulta, and I think it's supposed to be kind of like the famous banana tinted one. You'll know by once I show you like the bottle. Which one it's supposed to look like. That popular one. I can't think of the name of it right now. But it's supposed to be kind of like that. And then I like to go under. Hold on. I need more powder. More. Okay. And you don't want to go too far back because that's where your contour is, so you don't want it to like cut into it. You want this to kind of stick out. And then if you were like wanting to make your face slimmer, you want to have darker in here, so you want to stop it. So wherever you want to go with it, but you want it to go underneath. Your contour. And it just kind of sets it and kind of creates that fullness in there. I don't even know why I said fullness. It kind of helps like just whenever I feel like whenever I put concealer sometimes underneath my eyes, because I do have strong bags, throughout the day it'll kind of like crease and you can like see it. So sometimes with that powder, it'll just kind of, it gives it that full finish, so it'll keep it there. And then I just let that sit. I'm gonna use a little hula. And use my angled brush, so I'm using like the very angled edges. Kind of see how it's like a little bit longer on there. I'm using that very tip. And then I just contour. So I don't even use cream contour anymore because I use the darker foundation. And then I'm using my like smaller little angled brush, similar to this one, but just a little bit thinner. I'm just like tapping in and feels a little bright. And blend everything out. So I like to go back underneath the eye and use the same colors that I used from the corner and just go back in and go in the waterline to marry that in there. And then I'm going to use my eyeliner again. Alright, and I am going to do like my nose contour could be a little bit better. So go back in there. Just kind of define it a little bit better. This is like my little MAC little palette. I think it's called Warm Light. Oh, it's Sculpt and Shape Powder, and I like to use the little bronzy side because I like a little blush look. Okay, and then I'm gonna use the Anastasia Beverlyhills. Oh no, actually I lied. I did have Anastasia Beverlyhills powder, but it kind of would it would be really flaky, and I didn't really like that. So I have it, but this is the Sephora one, and it just doesn't have as much of a like a flaky kind of vibe to it. Kind of blend down my nose contour a little bit. I'm gonna use like a little bit of a bigger blending brush. I think this is like a Sonia Kashuk as well. And I'm just gonna do the little lighter bronzed. Go right on my nose, a little bit over my lip, so it looks a little bit more powdier. I like it a little bit above the eyebrow so it catches the light as well. I'm gonna get right in that nose. Spice. by MAC. And use my $20 pencil sharpener because I was trying to get one last minute. I got it at Walgreens for like a bajillion dollars. I outline my lips if I can talk. So I line my lips like where they're at, but then I go outside them a little bit more. Follow the corners, and then I draw outside because in here, because you guys can't tell, but it makes the lips look a lot bigger. And I like to fill in the corners a little bit. See, it's like all about the little finishing touches too. So right there, I feel like my highlight kind of covered that a little. And since this is kind of like, I wanted it kind of be like a little bridal look, I'm just going to do a little bit of a nudie shade. This is NYX Butter Gloss. I always still like to use a little lip liner. There's so many people who don't use lip liners, but I feel like they make all the difference. Okay. And me, I have just such thick eyebrows. Like, you saw me fill them in. I just am filling in kind of the shape. But I need lashes normally. Like, if I'm going to work, I might not wear them. But since this is supposed to be like a bridal look, I hate putting the mascara on. I used to have eyelash extensions, and so I literally had no nubs. So now I haven't had them for like 2 years. I miss them dearly. You know what I really hate is like the next day of like, even if you wash your face and you like scrub at it, and I know I do, and I use like the little wipes and whatnot, and I wipe around my eyes. I hate like you always still see like that like raccoon shape with mascara. I don't know, I've yet to find something that like doesn't give me that. So I'm gonna hold off and put like some eyelashes on. Actually, I'm gonna use these ones that are in my kit. They're kind of like the little wispies. A little Ardell, little lash glue. I'm gonna pop some on there. You wanna just let this dry. I always do a little bit of a bigger dot on the corners. I like to do like one on the end, one in the middle, one at the beginning, and then I just kind of slide it across. Because I feel like that's where it like sticks up. It's either sticking up in the middle, sticking up on the end, or in the corner. And the way my eyes are shaped, they always like kind of water a little bit. let them dry. My eyebrows look so thick when I don't have eyelashes, but I mean, everything on me thick, you know? Even my brows. I like to move them around. I don't know if it really does anything, but I personally like to do that. I think it helps them like angle into my eyebrows a little bit, or my eyelashes a little bit better. Ooh. I just want to let you guys know this is my first makeup video. I mean, I think I'm doing alright. Alright, so I'm gonna pop these babies on. I don't even know. Actually, I'm not even gonna be that bold. I'm gonna use my mirror, but you guys can watch. Because I have long nails, I kind of use them like tweezers. Ooh. All right. I've been holding off doing these little videos for a while because I wanted it to be so perfect. And I mean, I watch videos, YouTube videos, just like everybody else, and like, you don't really think about like how like smooth a transition or how they do like the slow motion, like until like you make your own and you're just like, what is this? This is like the finished look. Alright, hi guys, it's me, Kanani. I'm back, or welcome back to my channel. Oh,